Philippines within a century. Background of the essay. It was first published in La Solidaridad, Madrid, September 30, 1889 to February 1, 1890. On Rizal's views on the Spanish colonization in the Philippines and his prediction with amazing accuracy of the tragic end of Spain's sovereignty in Asia. Sa pananaw ni Rizal sa pananakop ng Espanyol sa Pilipinas at ang kanyang prediksyon na matatapos din ang pananakop ng Espanyol sa buong Asia. Number 2 is portrayal of the glorious past of the Filipino people, their economic stagnation and unhappiness under the harsh and bungling Spanish rule. So sa pangalawang background of the essay na sinabi ni Rizal is yung pananaw ng mga Pilipino noong una is hindi sila masaya sa pagtrato ng Espanyol sa kanila. So Rizal advised to the Spain to adopt a more liberal and enlightened policy towards the Philippines unless problems will arise. Likewise, his foresight that Spain's colonial empire in Asia would yield an undesirable result. So, sabi ni Rizal is mag-adapt ng more liberal ang Spanya ng enlightened policy towards the Philippines. Unless the essay prelude. In Rizal's preliminary to the essay, there is an exposition of several reasons of agonies by the Filipinos. Pangisa dito yung implementation ng Spain military policies is ito yung dapat masunod lang is yung kanilang policies. Tapos yung pangalawa is the deterioration and disappearance of Filipino indigenous culture. Ito yung pagkawala or pagka-disappear ng mga Filipino indigenous culture. Pang-tatlo naman is the passivity and submissiveness to the colonizers.
The reason for Filipino plight and realization to work for progress. Spain has prevented the progress of the country, but Filipinos have eventually stood, hence Spain has failed. These reasons that propelled or nagtulak or nagmotivate sa mga Filipinos to work to progress are as follow. First is keeping the people uneducated and ignorant had failed. National consciousness has still awakened and great Filipino minds still emerge from the rubble. So the first option na gawing mangmang at walang alam ang mga Pilipino ay hindi nagtagumpay dahil nagising ang pagmamahal ng mga Pilipino sa sarili nilang bansa. So second is keeping the people impoverished also came to no avail. On the contrary, living a life of internal destitution had allowed the Filipinos to act on the desire for a change in their way of life. So ang second option na panatiliing mahirap ang mga Pilipino ay hindi rin nagtagumpay. Since majority sa mga Pilipino noon ay naghihirap dahil inaalisan sila ng rights sa sarili nilang mga property, kaya ito yung nag-triggered or nag-motivate sa mga Pilipino to change things. They started exploring adventurous ideas. Third is exterminating the people as an alternative to hindering progress didn't work either. The Filipino race was able to survive amidst war and famine and become even more numerous after such catastrophe. So sa dinami-dami ng war and epidemya o yung mga nakakamatay na disease na na-encounter ng mga Pilipino, they still survive. Moreover, sabi ni Rizal, to wipe out the Filipino race, they have to sacrifice a huge number of manpower. Reforms and independence. The third article was centered on the reforms and political changes needed for the Philippines to remain under Spain rule. There are some reforms na nabanggit ni Rizal sa essay na dapat ina-implement ng Spain noon. First is freedom of the press of the country. So, dapat may laya ang mga Pilipino to express their problems, to voice out their grievances to the government na hindi sila natatakot at sasaktan. Second is representation of the Philippines in the Spanish courts. So, dati we have a representative in the Spanish court. Yun nga lang, inabolish din ng Spain government. So ito yung gustong mangyaring Rizal na dapat meron tayong representative for that may magsasabi or magre-relay ng mga problema natin sa Philippines in the Spanish court. So third is granting of Spanish citizenship to the people. Ito yung bigyan ng mga Pilipino ng rights na magkaroon ng Spanish citizenship. Fourth is filling of government positions to competitive examinations. Masala yung mga deserving sa posisyon because even today, the backup system are still exist. Even though overqualified ka sa work, tapos sa mga lahat, if yung kasama mong applicant is kamag-anak ng isang government agencies, hindi pa rin ikaw ang kukunin kahit ikaw ang deserving sa posisyon. So, dapat masala kung sino yung mga deserving sa government position. 5 is reforms in commerce, agriculture, and education, and greater security for the individual and other reforms. So, dapat kailangan kinoconsider pa rin yung kaligtasan ng mga Pilipino, which is greater security for the individual. And Rizal pointed out that reforms had to be initiated in the government for them to be peaceful and effective. Dagdag pa ni Garcia that Spain had no means to stop the progress of the country. What she needed to do was to change their colonial policies so that they were in keeping with the needs of the Philippine society and to the rising nationalism of the people at the time. So, on 5 decades after Rizal's death, the Philippines gained her long-awaited independence, for that was in fulfillment of what he had written in his essay.
Hello guys, I'm Gia Peralta Balina Estante. In his leisure time, Rizal fancied creativity. His interest was always not on issues of politics and other social problems. He wrote songs and poems, invented tools, and collected endemic specimens from the Pitan. We all know that Rizal is a man of many talents. Rizal is a brilliant person. He made a great impact in our country, which is the Philippines. In what ways? We have through the song compositions, inventions, and contribution to science. Since when Rizal was still at young age during his pastime, he used his time in writing songs just like the Kundiman Rizal, Alinmang Lahi, and Leonor. Sumulat din si Rizal ng tulad ng A Poem That Has No Title, To the Virgin Mary, and Sa Aking Mga Kabata. Did you know guys that Rizal wrote Sa Aking Mga Kabata at the age of 8 years old? Next, we have Rizal as musician. Rizal's inclination to music was noted by many historians. Asuncion Bantog, a grandniece of Rizal, shared that among all the arts, it was music that Rizal was mostly interested. As what I am said a while ago, Rizal is a man of many talents. And one of the talents of Rizal is being a musician. Since Rizal have a lot of interest during his pastime, but one of the most interests of Rizal is the music. This is according to Asuncion Bantog. Asuncion Bantog is a grandniece or kung sa Tagalog pa, apo sa pamangkin of Rizal. Even though not naturally gifted to sing, he was determined to thrive in music. Ibig sabihin, kahit na hindi si Rizal gaano kagaling kumanta, pero sumisikap pa rin siya to learn music. Kung paano maging singer. Kumbaga, trying hard talaga si Rizal para matuto. Galicano Apacable recounted, he Rizal found it hard to harm or whistle a simple melody. Whenever he did it, the melody turned out to be so out of tone. As a result, our hero studied flute and practiced hard. Later, he also learned solfeggio, piano, and voice culture o ibid. Ito yung isa sa mga palatandaan na hindi natural gifted si Rizal, pero persugido pa rin siya na makalearn ng music. Minsan nahirapan si Rizal na mag-hum or whistle kahit na napakasimple lang yung melody. Hindi niya makuha-kuha yung tamang tono. Kaya ayun, gibaling ni Rizal ang kanyang atensyon na gumamit ng mga instrumento ang isa sa mga instrumento na gigamit ni Rizal is ang mga piano, flute, solfeggio, and voice culture. Pagkatapos nag-practice si Rizal na maigi, hanggang naging mahusay siya na flutist at yun, nag-compose si Rizal na kanyang song gamit ang mga instrument na yun. So, naging popular yung mga songs na gi-compose ni Rizal tulad ng Kundiman ni Rizal, Alinmang Lahi, and Leonor.
Rizal as an inventor. Rizal's creativity was put to practical use through his invention. Bored and mostly alone in the Dapitan, he tinkered things and developed tools that he personally used. Submitted by Renier Alan Ronda, 2015. So, yung mga nagawa ni Rizal is ay kwan lang talaga siya. Bored lang talaga siya or nagawa niya lang yun kasi nag-iisa lang man siya at kadalasan sa mga nagawa niya is yung mga kailangan niya, mga personal needs. Yun nga. National Hero Jose Rizal, whose 108th death anniversary was commemorated Tuesday, was also an inventor, although he had filed no patents of any in his invention. So, ibig sabihin, nung ginawa ito ni Renier Alan Ronda, is ika-118th death anniversary ni Rizal. At saka, nung sinabi din dito ni Rizal is, na wag ipakita sa mga tao or i-public yung mga nagawa niya. Mudanza said in his paper, The Inventor in Dr. Jose P. Rizal, The Night of Rizal, said that the inventor in Rizal had blossomed during his years of exile in Dapitan in the Zamboanga Peninsula. So, ibig sabihin, sa pagkaming likhain ni Rizal ay nagiging kilala yung mga nagawa niya o mga naimbento, lalo na sa Dapitan at sa Zamboanga Peninsula. I mean Dapitan, Zamboanga Peninsula. Most visible was his technology in irrigation. He said where rice, fish, cacao, fibers, sugar, oil, corn, coffee, various other products were more than sufficient. So, isa nga sa mga naimbento ni Rizal ay ang irrigation, na kung saan nakakatulong ito sa mga tao, lalo na sa pagtatanim ng mga cacao, fibers, rice, at namumuhay. At nasusustentuhan din ito dahil siyempre basta may irrigation, may isda. Rizal was the first to invent the first brick-making machine in the country. It was said to be producing 6,000 bricks a day, a project anticipating perhaps what was to be the first National Housing Authority's objective. So yun nga, isa rin sa naimbento ni Rizal ay ang bricks machine, na kung saan alam naman natin na ginagamit ito sa paggawa ng bahay, kasi yun nga, ginagamit ito sa paggawa ng mga establishmento. Mudanza said Rizal also invented a cigarette lighter locally known as sulpukan. So ito guys ay ito yung guys yung parang made of kawayan, yung basta guys ginagamit ito para makalikha ng apoy, para yun nga, cigarette lighter. Rizal carved molds for biscuits and other tools for bakery refinement. He also made chess set pieces out of animal bones while in prison. So, pumasok na naman dito yung guys, yung pagiging I mean, lumikha si Rizal ng mga tools for bakery requirement at saka mga piyesa sa chess na gawa sa buto ng mga hayop. Habang andun siya sa yung nakakulong siya. Modanza said, Rizal engineered the construction of a water system that supplied fresh water to the community, including an irrigation program. So yun nga yung nakagawa siya ng irrigation, gumawa din siya ng yung water system na malinis para naggamit ng mga tao. Modanza said, the celebration of the inventor in Rizal could lead to a national culture of invention and innovation. So, ang huling sinabi ni Modanza is na yung mga gawa ni Rizal ay magiging kilala ng lahat ng tao, hindi lang ngayon at hindi lang ngayon kundi sa mga susunod pa na mga henerasyon. Thank you.
So, it was mentioned in the previous chapter that Rizal joined the Filipino-Spanish Circle. These people are inclined to the most recent discoveries of sciences and its methods. Being a prominent member of the circle, Rizal discussions and gained access to information concerning the developments in sciences and with inspirations brought by Miguel Moraita. He was exposed to undertakings and challenges experienced by the people who promote scientific methods. More so, was even given access and privileges to exclusive collections in several libraries in Europe. So, binigyan siya ng privilege sa mga special na collections doon sa mga iba't ibang libraries doon sa Europe. And patuloy rin ang kanyang communication through mails among the famous scientists in Europe while doon siya sa dapitan. Despite the unremitting human assault upon the Philippine waters and forests, these precious resources are still home to a wealth of species, animals, and plants to which even national hero Jose Rizal sang praises. So, for me, ang pagkakaintindi ko rito ay kahit na may ginagawa ang mga tao na mali sa ating kalikasan, for example, ay ang mga deforestation or paninira sa mga kayamanang dagat or sa mga bukid, pero nandoon pa rin ang ating mga resources, ang ating mga precious resources, kasi nga masagana pa rin siya, kasi nga pinangangalagaan ito ng ating national hero na si Rizal. Although Rizal was not a scientist in the true sense of the word, although yan na nga, hindi natin siya matatawag na isang ganap talaga na scientist kasi nagulang siya sa education, or he lacked the education or specialization required for such a title. So, kagaya naming mga criminology students, kailangan muna naming mag-aral ng 4 years degree upang makakuha ng lisensya, upang ganap na talaga matawag na registered registered criminologist. Yun din si Rizal. Hindi talaga siya natin matatawag na isang ganap na scientist kasi yun na nga, nagulang siya sa education na dapat na required doon para matawag siya na isang ganap talaga na scientist. So, si Rizal din ay naging collector ng mga animals, ng iba't ibang animals at iba't ibang shells, and also an avid student at the local flora and fauna of Dapitan during his exile from 1892 to 1896. Nag-collect siya ng mga iba't ibang shells and animals at naging eager student. So it means parang naging pursigido siya or naging gusto niya talaga na matutunan or mas mapalawak pa ang kanyang kaalaman sa nature. So, ang pagkahilig ni Rizal sa nature ay nung bata pa siya. At may mga sweetest memories din siya doon sa Calamba. And his sweetest memories doon ay yung mga fruit trees that shaded on their nipa hut and garden in Calamba. Yung may marami doon mga prutas doon sa kanilang nipa hut, sa gilid ng kanilang nipa hut sa Calamba, and of the birds that frequented their garden, na madalas bumibisita do ang mga ibon doon sa kanilang garden. Halimbawa, ng mga ibon na yon ay ang Maria Capra, Dakulyawan, Maya, Kulay, and different kinds of pipit, or yung mga ibon na kumakanta. And later, as a college student at Ateneo, his knowledge deepened through his academic studies. Yun na nga, nag-aral siya sa Ateneo upang mas mapalawak pa ang kanyang kaalaman sa ating kalikasan.
Nung ipinatapon si Rizal noong July 1892, he proved that his life need not be paralyzed by isolation. So, pinuno niya ang kanyang mga araw ng mga activities tulad ng paggagamot ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa mata. Nag-open din siya ng school para sa mga lalaki. At gumawa din siya ng water system at nakipagkalakalan. He also studied the local ethnology at embarked to the preparation of the Tagalog grammar. He became a dedicated naturalist na nagko-collect at nagsisign ng mga animals and plants sample sa kanyang mga kaibigan na European. So, among the fauna that interested him were reptiles, birds, mammals, and insects, fish, and shellfish. So, mas interesado siya sa mga reptiles, bird, mammals, insects, fish, and shellfish. He corresponded with his scientist friends, exchanging ideas on the fauna of Dapitan. So, nakipag-correspond siya sa kanyang mga scientist na kaibigan at nakipag-exchange ng mga ideas about sa fauna o palayupan sa Dapitan. So, one of his friends is si Dr. Adolf B. Meyer na na-meet niya sa Dresden noong 1886. Rizal gladly accommodated his friend's request for animal specimens despite the restriction imposed on him by authorities. So, magalak na tinanggap ni Rizal ang request ng kanyang kaibigan about sa animal specimen despite sa mga ipinataw sa kanya ng otoridad. So, according to Rizalista Bantog, most of the specimens that Rizal sent to his friends were sent to Dresden Museum. So, according kay Bantog, most of the specimen na sinend ni Rizal sa kanyang mga kaibigan ay ipinadala sa Dresden Museum. So, according to Bantog, Rizal sent specimen of 45 reptiles, 9 mammals, 13 birds, 9 fishes, and 68 crustaceans. So, according to him, these were apart from his 346 pieces shell collection.